I love you all with all my heart, with all my might. The video feed got caught up, but that doesn't really matter because still we're here. Use the previous video as an introduction to today's talk, which is purposeful goals. Purposeful goals, what they are and what they represent. As you know who we are the human species, we are a benevolent race. This is who we are. So I'm going to start again. Purposeful goals, you can refer to the image on the website white.how/purposeful-goals. That is white.how/purposeful-goals. That's white.how/purposeful-goals. So that's the image. You can watch it on YouTube. You can do the same on Substack and on the website. So the image is self-explanatory. It explains the foundation of purposeful daily action and what purposeful goals are. So I'll deep dive into it in a second. But then again, I'm going to have to talk about it again because, you see, the reason why these videos are being cut off is not because it's a glitch. They are being cut off on purpose because the message is important. This is an important message. And obviously, there are some entities out there not interested in humanity knowing who we are. But that's okay. I don't really care because at the end of the day, I know who I am. I'm an infinite creator. And so are we, all of us, humanity. We are the Republic of Planet Earth. We are the citizens of the Republic of Planet Earth. This is who we are. We're the defenders of the Republic of Planet Earth. We're the leaders of the Republic of Planet Earth. We have created the Republic of Planet Earth at this very time for a reason. We have the right circumstances, the right conditions. This is the right time for us to come together. And that's why we founded and formed the Republic right now at this very time, here and now. Because we're ready as a race. We have fully metamorphosized into who we are. Spherical light beings. We're electrical, we're infinite energy. All my videos are about energy, are about creation, are about love, because that's who we are. We're infinite energy, we're infinite creators. How do I know these? Because it's common sense. We live to love. Why? Because we have a heartbeat. And our heartbeat is pretty clear. A heartbeat gives us life. Without a heartbeat, we wouldn't exist. This is electromagnetic field around the human body that powers it. Powers our brains, it powers our nervous system so we can think, be self-aware, be conscious. Right? Our organs functions as a result of that. We are sentient, we feel, we love, we're intelligent. So if it's the heartbeat, our biological creator, its first motion, its first instinct is for our existence to create life, is for the heartbeat to exist. So we are alive, we exist. And is the same organ with the pulse of life, the pulse of creation, is this heartbeat that gives us life. The same place where we love. We love with our hearts. So obviously it's in our nature. Our instinct is to exist, so we love. We live to love and we love to live. This is who we are. So we create with love. We create with love. We're loving creatures. This is what we do. It's in our nature. This is why we have metamorphosized and created the Republic at this stage, because we are spherical light beings. Electromagnetic field around us suggests so. This is who we are. We're electrical. We're energy. And we love. We create with our love. Just like when we make love at the most fundamental of levels to reproduce, biologically speaking, we create life when we make love. The sperm and the egg come together. They conceive life. The zygote comes together into a critical mass. And what does it create? The heartbeat. And what does the heartbeat do? It's the signal of life. The signal of creation. This signal at a very small level, you can look at it with a microscope, and then that turns into a full embryo and a fetus and then a baby, and we're born and we live, we love, we create, we're purposeful. So the seed of life is clear. We make love, so we create. So we are creators. We love creators. We create through love. This is our nature. And then once the baby is born, we love our baby. We love our children in general. This is our instinct to love, right? The heartbeat gives us the heartbeat, so we love, so the instinct is to love. So we love our children, and then what happens? Well, we raise them, and they grow up, and they become humans that are capable of loving, and they're purposeful, and they're creators themselves. And it was the love that, you see, the instinct to love, to care, to look after them, to raise them, to make sure that they can also do what we are, and the species continues. A reproduction mechanism is there to prove to us at the most fundamental of levels, the very foundation, that we are creators and we create through love. Okay? But that's the very beginning. We just don't reproduce. That's not all we do. We also create. We're designers, we're builders, we're architects, we're producers. We do all sorts of things. We're producers. We do all sorts of things. This is what we do. We create. We're crafters. We create, we craft. This is our nature. We create, and we create through passion, through our love. Our love is what creates. We back our creations with love. Our actions are backed with love. This is what proof free will, identity, and true self has to do with the free will here and now, taking action, purposeful daily action, which is what today videos is all about, is purposeful goals and the foundation of purposeful daily action. But before diving into that, I want to make sure that I drive this message home again, and I explain it one more time. The reason why we're infinite eternal creation is because we're infinite in nature. Electromagnetic field makes us spherical light beings. Why? Because look at the sun. The sun is also spherical, and it has its own electromagnetic field. And it created the conditions on Earth to have its own electromagnetic field that created the conditions for us to exist with the atmosphere and the biome and the ecosystems and the bios and the atmosphere. All these different things so the DNA can flourish and us live here in nature and be conscious and be a benevolent race and do what we do to create. So it all comes together, and we all create. The sun creates at an astronomical scale, the earth creates at a terrestrial scale, and us humans create at a biological scale. So love is the delivery system, is a mechanism of creation at a biological scale. So I'm going to say that again. Love is a delivery system, is the mechanism used to create at a biological scale. We create through love. This is how we create. The sun creates through energy. The earth creates through its own gravitational forces and motions and systems and ecosystems within the earth and the atmosphere. And we do create biologically through love. This is how we create. We make love, we create life, and we also back our actions with love so we can create with our free will every day and be builders and be what we are, these dreamers, how we create. This is a very powerful thing, and this is what today's video is about, purposeful goals. And what are goals again? Goals is this end state, this destination where we're headed. And what are destinations if it's not dreams? Think about it. And what do we dream about? We dream about ourselves at a future state, our identity, our true self. We dream about ourselves at a future state. That's what a goal is. A destination, we see ourselves there, doing something, achieving something, doing a task, doing a job, doing something that is meaningful to us, because we feel we, sentient beings, we are a heartful species. We love, we create, we want to feel good, and that's why we dream and we have goals. So why do we do these? Well, because we have eyes. And our eyes, give us a sense of sight, which is then part of being conscious and being aware. And by large, we humans are a visual species. We are predominantly guided by our sense of sight over any other senses. In fact, our eyes have a very strong relationship with our brains. We have this wiring connecting our brains and our eyes in a very interconnected and complex way. This is just the way it is, and it's always been like this. We have all these neurons and all these nerves and all these veins, all these systems, this communication system, these bidirectional mechanisms, feedback loops. So the brain and the neuroplasticity and the wiring of it is essentially there to support the eyes, to support the function of the eye, which is to see. Why? Because we perceive reality through our eyes. This is how we relate to existence through our eyes. And what a coincidence that our eyes are spherical, just like the earth and just like the sun and the electromagnetic field of creation. How come is it? How funny? It's not a coincidence that this spherical thing is what allows us to perceive reality as what it is. And how do we see reality? Well, we see because of light and colors. And the human eye has the iris, and the iris has a cell called the cone cells. So the cone cells are these human cell that essentially allows us to see light and colors. So then again, where does light come from? From the sun. Very important to understand this notion. Sunlight, the name says it, light, it gives us colors so we can interpret and perceive reality and have meaning and make sense of reality from a human point of view. And our brain does the coherence of it. That's why the brain is behind our eyes. So most of it happens for that reason, because we're making sense of reality through our senses, but mainly the eye, so we can perceive things and understand the world as what it is. This notion of being human and what being human is. So it starts with the eye. So because of this very notion, our eyes allow us to see. And what do we see? Well, we see visions, we see images, we think, we dream. This is our natural abilities. This is what we do. And I always talk about visions and what visions are, these images of the future, our future state, our true self, where we headed, our goals, our dreams. We're here to make sure our dreams come true through the foundation of purposeful daily action. And this is what purposeful goals are, and this is what today's video is all about. But I need to explain what goals are from a biological point of view. So obviously we have the eyes and the iris, so we can see light and color. So if our creator, the sun, is there and gave us the conditions necessary for us to see light, then what does that make us? Well, it gives us the ability to seek sunlight so we can see. And what better way than to stare at the sun? Because if we stare at the sun, then all the energy of creation comes straight through our eyes, back into our brains, and it does all these beautiful things to us. It supercharges us. And this is what we can do. We can stare at the sun and open our heart and our brains and our minds. So I like to explain what that means. Why is this possible? Well, this is possible because we're electric, we're energy, we're electromagnetic beings. We're spherical light beings. The human heartbeat created us. And that creation is due to the power of these electromagnetic pulse, this electromagnetic field around us. And just like our electromagnetic pulse, the sun also has its own electromagnetic pulse, its own electromagnetic field. So when we stare at the sun, we open the portal, we build the bridge. And the bridge is our own electromagnetic field of our heart on our body, syncing with the electromagnetic field of the heart of the sun itself, its own pulse, its own creation. And what does that do? Well, it creates this connection. It gives us a sense of meaning. It anchors us. It grounds us. It reminds us where we come from. We step into the light, who we are, the human race, what we represent. You know, it reminds us that we are light, we're energy. And because energy created us, imagine all this energy coming through our eyes, back into our brains, straight into our brains, and then straight into our hearts. So what does that do? Well, we envision with our eyes, with our brains, we have visions, we have sight. We can foresee, we have foresight. We can have hindsight, think in reverse, retrospectively what happened, memories and all these things. So if you think about it from that very point of view, when we stare at the sun, our memories of ourselves, our true self, our creator, our love becomes much stronger, more powerful. So we can have stronger goals and stronger dreams, things that come true with our actions, purposeful daily action. And our heart, the heartbeat creates us, and we love, right? We create through love. This is the biological delivery system of creation, love. So with the electromagnetic field of the heart and the electromagnetic field of the sun, what happens? Well, this syncing allows our heart to pump much faster and become stronger, and our creations to be more powerful because we're more loving and we put more action behind our creations, because the visions are stronger, because our brains are more powerful. It gets super powered supercharged by the energy coming from the sun straight into the iris and going back into our brains and reshaping it, re-energizing it, rejuvenating it, regenerating it, refreshing it, reboosting it. All these different things is nourishing, renourishing it, making it incredibly powerful. So our dreams are more powerful, our synapse, our brain capacity is much more powerful. So we have stronger visions of who we are. Why? Because we're light, we're energy, we're creators. And how do we get to that new state of creation, this vision that we have of ourselves, our dream, our goal? Through action. And we take action with our heart because our heart gives us life, so the love creates. So because of this vision, now our heart has the power necessary to take the action so we can achieve this dream state. We can make this dream state reality. The dream comes true through action. So this is how it works. This is the power of this mechanism, and this is why purposeful goals are extremely important, because purposeful goals are nothing else but purposeful daily action. But you need to understand that it has to be purposeful, because our purpose is to exist, to live, to love. We love to live. So, and how do we love to live? By being purposeful, because we love our creations, because it's meaningful, it's joyful, it's fulfilling, it's purposeful. We have a purpose. We choose our purpose with our identity and our true self, right? This is just the way it is. We have a unique identity. Each individual has his own experience, his own perception of reality, his own sight, his own relationship with the sun iris nexus, the human practice, his own bridge, his own portal to make its own mind and have his own vision of his own true self, and where those dreams are and where those dreams are gonna take our true self. So let's start there. Purposeful goals, the foundation of purposeful daily action. So it all starts with who. Who am I? Who are you? Who are we? Who you are, who I am. That's the true self. So who drives our goals, our dreams, our calling? Who drives our purpose? Our true self. Our true self. Each individual's true self. This is what drives it. Remember, our goals are unique to us. Our dreams are unique to us, because we all have a unique iris. We all have a unique face, a unique tone of voice, a unique signature, a unique fist, a unique footprint, a unique fingerprint, a unique DNA code, a unique structure. Our bodies are unique to all of us. Our brains are unique. Everything is unique about us. We are unique people. Even if you were to have a twin, identical twin, there will be differences. There will be very obvious differences, because we're all unique. We're all unique. So who drives our goals? Our true self, right? And our goals are unique to us. We choose with our free will, with our daily action, where we headed. We choose our destinations ourselves, the individual. This is why our dreams are about our future true selves and the actions that we must take with our hearts to get there individually. Each dream is different. Each person has his own dream, his own uniqueness. And this is the way it is and the way it would always be. So, because it's nature, it's just who we are. So why is the second stop? So this is purposeful goals, right? It starts with who. Who drives our goals? Our true self. Now, why? Purpose, why we exist, the reason why we exist, the reason why we're here. This is why these goals, right? Why these goals? They're aligned with who we are. So the goals that we choose are essentially aligned with who we are. So what is the meaning of these? Just think about it like, we are what? We are our experiences, our perception, our realities based on that, or our true self, who our dimensions, our origin, or these different dimensions that I speak about all the time. These our boundaries, all events that happen in our lives, all these memories. This is what shapes us. This is who we are. Each individual has its own makeup, individual makeup, and why these goals? Because they're aligned with who we are. It's our choice, our free will. We choose what we want to be. Why we want to be a painter? Well, we want to be a painter because it's our choice. I love painting. It brings me great joy. I'm pretty good at it and I love it. I get lost in time when I do it. I make a living out of it people are fascinated with my painting, and I really enjoy it. It just makes me happy, and it gets me out of bed. You see, align with who I am. Why this goal? Well, I'm a footballer. I love football, and this is why I do, because I love the smell of grass, and I love playing football and scoring goals, and playing with my mates, and having a great time, and competing, and aiming to be a champion. So as you can see, this is all connected. It's the individual that chooses because it's aligned with who they are. We choose our goals. We choose our dream. We choose our dreams. So how are our goals reached, essentially? How are our goals reached? Applying best practices. And what is this? What's best practices? Well, best practices is the actions that you have to take that will get you there. In previous videos, I have spoken about what these practices are, the things that you have to do. You know how you have to measure. Progress toward completion. You have to have realistic time frames to get the job done. You need to be realistic about this goal that you're taking, the activities that you have to take. This is a set of things, and I will be talking very soon actually about what are these best practices. But fundamentally, what this is just taking action. It's the next step. The foundation of purposeful daily action is that next action, the purposeful daily action that will make sure that will get you there. And I have spoken about flawless execution and a strategy and what it means. All these things are connected, how we get to our goals. And this is the way it is applying best practices, using your compass, taking action, doing the right things, taking the right action at the right time. And you need to understand why you're doing this and the sequence of the reasoning, why you are taking this action and you're doing this task, and the purpose of it. And this is why how is so important, because it helps you recalibrate. You ask, why is this the best practice? Why is this the best tool for the job? Why is this the best skill for the job or for the task? Why? And then how is the behavior, the action, how you go about it. So you see, it's the models, toolkits, all these frameworks is all based on that. Is best practices. Is making sure that you understand the reason why you're doing what you're doing, and you know how to do it. So if you don't have the expertise, well, you learn the skills. It's part of purpose. Freedom, skills, calling, opportunity, dream, and action. So it's all about daily action. It's all about the free will to take action. But you need to understand how you get there and the ways you get there, and you have to apply best practices to make sure that the job gets done and the task gets completed and you can get to your destination, which is your goal. So how are our goals reached? Applying best practices. This is how it is. And the fundamental thing that you do is purposeful daily action. This is just the way it is. So what? So we went from who drives our goals, our true self. Why these goals? They're aligned with who we are. How are our goals reached? Applying best practices. So what? Let's talk about what now. What gets us there? Purposeful daily action. So this is fundamental to understand. It's our free will, is purposeful daily action that gets us there. Purposeful daily action gets us to our goal, to our destination, to our dream state. It makes our dream come true. I'll give you an example. When I was writing this book that now I'm narrating to you, the visuals and thinking and doing the research, I always had the end state, the dream state, the end in mind, which was finishing the book and doing what I'm doing right now, which is narrating the story, giving you the words, coloring it, the visual, explaining it and what it means. The images are, for the most part, self-explanatory, but I also want to add color to it by explaining my thinking and my logic, which is what I'm doing right now. So, in the early stages, I started writing this book 5 years ago. 5 years ago. We're in 2024 now. Mid 2024. I started in early 2019. So it's been over 5 years. So it has been a long time, and there's been a lot of stages. But the fundamental thing is, what got me here was purposeful daily action. So I always took action every day at different scales. There were tasks and things that needed to be done, and I broken down into priorities and urgency, and I'll talk about this in future videos. But essentially, is purposeful daily action, because I was purposeful about my actions. I knew that these actions were needed so I can get to my job, to my destination, to my goal, to my dream, which come true, which is publishing the book, putting the book out there in the world on Substack. As I'm a writer, site for writers. YouTube is a visual place, so I'm sharing it there, and I also have my website. So the intention was always that I always knew what I wanted, which is to make sure that the book was available to everyone for free. And the way in the presentation was always going to be this way. It was going to be a digital way, an interactive way, so people can visually understand it rather than, having to read too much text. I'm also going to put some text out there eventually, but for the most part, I wanted to be visual so people understand these concepts, because these ideas are very simple, but there's a lot to them. It's a lot of depth, and they're very profound. So it needs to be well explained, and concepts needs to be always elaborated on and explained in different ways so people fully understand and grasp it. You, the citizens of the Republic of Planet Earth, us, the defenders and the leaders of the Republic of Planet Earth. So is purposeful daily action. You taking the right actions. And purposeful because you know that there's a reason why you're taking this action. There's a purpose. This action is not just a purposeless action. It's not just a random action. I'm taking this action because I know this is the next step. It's the stepping stone for the next step. So I build momentum and I get on my way. So I can be here today talking to you about what I've achieved. So let's talk about when. When is the next step of purposeful goals, the foundation of purposeful daily action? When do we act? Every day within reason. I have worked on my book, Fantasies and Illusions, Compass, The Quest for Free Will, which is the name of the book. This narration, this story that I'm sharing with you from video 1 is all about this book. When do we act? Every day within reason. This is what I've done for the last 5+ years. I've been acting every day within reason. I have a child and I have a life and I do other things. I'm a human in the end, just like all of us. So I have other things to do, but within reason. And that's emphasis on that, within reason. Every day within reason. And this is what I've done. And if I can do it, I know that you also can do it. And the emphasis on reason, within reason, you find the moments, the times of the day that work for you. But the idea is to continue with the momentum and have daily action, because the whole notion of this book is purposeful daily action. It's our free will. And the way we prove free will, then again, the name of the book is The Quest for Free Will. Fantasies and Illusions, Compass, The Quest for Free Will. So the proof to free will is daily action, because we take action and we create our own destinations. We chart our destiny, our dreams, our goals, because we take action. Because, this is the only way to prove free will. There are a lot of humans out there who believe that free will is not real. These people clearly do not understand human nature and the human condition and who we are. But that's okay, because this book is not about them. They all have their own free will, whether they're conscious of it or not. But in reality, it's about us and the nature. We have free will. But the only way to prove free will is by taking action. Otherwise, we're wasting our free will. We're not using it. Or we're just using it in ways in which it's not purposeful. It's not really creating what we're supposed to, because we're creators. You see, we are creators. This is our nature. We're loving. We create through love. And I have put a lot of love behind this work. I have backed my actions with love every day within reason, because I knew I was going to be here today having this conversation with you, because we're creators. You see, dream states. We make our dreams come true. And the only way to get there is through daily action, purposeful daily action. So every day within reason. When do we act? Every day within reason. And you'll get better. You'll get better. And then there will be a day in which you cannot not work, because this is your life work. This is your magnus opus, as they say. So I love you all with all my heart and all my mind and all my might. So you keep on going every day. I love you. So let's talk about where now, which is the sixth component of purposeful goals, the foundation of purposeful daily action. Where? So where do we act? Wherever needed. Simple as that. Wherever needed. The tasks to be done every day, their actions needing to be taken every day, and they must be taken somewhere, because they're purposeful. There is a reason why you're there. There's a reason why it needs to be taken, so you can advance your agenda. So remember, identity is the actions taken here and now by your true self that give you a voice in society. That's your identity. And your purpose is knowing the reason why you exist and taking action here and now to advance your agenda. So as part of flawless execution and all these notions that I have been sharing with you, strategy and what it is, it's important, winning formula and all these ideas, it's very important to understand that when and where always come together. There's not such a thing as a when without a where. Oh, when always comes with a where. It's just like twins. They come together. They just love each other. They cannot be without each other. They just together. When and where always together. So when do we act? Every day within reason. Where? Wherever needed. Where do we act? Wherever needed. So wherever needed within reason, every day. So when you take the action, is when where the action is needed to be taken. And when it's needed to be taken, that's just the way it is. So that's the whole idea of purposeful daily action, purposeful goals. So I'll walk through it again so you have a clear sense of what I mean by it in a holistic manner, so there's a full flow of it. Purposeful goals, the foundation of purposeful daily action. Who drives our goals? Our true self. Why? Why these goals? They're aligned with who we are. How? How are our goals reached? Applying best practices. What? What gets us there? Purposeful daily action. When? When do we act? Every day within reason. Where? Where do we act? Wherever needed. Simple as that. That's just the way it is. It's as simple as that. This is purposeful goals. Remember, dream states. We make our dreams come true because we're infinite creators. Create with a heartbeat, with a love. I love you all with all my heart, with all my might. I'll be making another video shortly. I just wanted to finish this one off. I love you.